Good morning. Today we will study linear transformations. If V and W are vector spaces over the same field F, a function f from V to W is called a linear transformation if it preserves the vector space structure. That is, if it preserves the vector addition and vector and scalar multiplication. That is, if alpha and beta are elements of a vector space V, then f of alpha plus beta equal to f of alpha plus f of beta. And if A belongs to F and alpha belongs to V, then f of A alpha equal to A of F alpha. The first property means it preserves the vector addition, and second means it preserves the scalar multiplication. We may combine f of alpha plus beta equal to f of alpha plus f of beta and f of A alpha plus equal to A f alpha into one condition as f of A alpha plus B beta equal to A f alpha plus B of f beta. Hence, a function f from V to W is called the linear transformation if it preserves vector addition and scalar multiplication. A linear transformation is also called a linear mapping, a linear function, a linear operator, or a vector space homomorphism. The transformation f from V to W, where f v equal to 0 for all v belonging to V, is a linear transformation, and it is called a zero transformation of V to W. And the transformation f from V to V, defined as f equal to V, is also a linear transformation. One may verify it, and this transformation is called the identity transformation. So the transformation f from V to V, for which f equal to V for all V belonging to V, is called the identity transformation of V. Let f is a mapping from V to W be a linear transformation where V is finite dimensional. Finite dimensional means it has its bases have finite number of elements. So if S is equal to V1, V2, Vn is the basis for V, then the image of any vector in V can be expressed as f of V equal to beta 1 fv1 plus beta 2 fv2 plus beta n fvn, where beta 1, beta n are the coefficients required to express V as a linear combination of vector in basis. Suppose S is equal to V1, V2, Vn is basis of V. Then every V belonging to V can be uniquely expressed as in the form V equal to beta V1 plus beta 2 V2 plus dash dash beta n Vn, where beta 1, beta 2, beta n belongs to R. Since S is a basis for V, therefore every element in V can be expressed as the linear combination of elements of S. So we have expressed V as a linear combination of elements of S. This implies f of V is equal to f of beta 1 V1 plus f of beta n Vn. Since f is linear, it preserves vector addition. Means f of alpha plus beta is equal to f of alpha plus f of beta. So this will be equal to f of beta 1 V1 plus f of beta 2 V2 plus dash dash f of beta n Vn. Also, because f is linear, it also preserves scalar multiplication. So f of beta 1 V1 will be equal to beta 1 fv1 and f of beta n Vn will be equal to beta n f of V1. Hence, we have expressed f of V as beta 1 fv1 plus beta n fvn. Now computing with images of basis vectors. Consider the basis S equal to V1, V2, V3 for R cube, where V1 is equal to 1, 1, 1, V2 equal to 1, 1, 0, V3 equal to 1, 0, 0. Let F is a mapping from R cube to R square, 3-dimensional vector space to 2-dimensional vector space or real space with a linear transformation for which f of v1 equal to 1, 0, f of v2 equal to 2 minus 1, f of v3 equal to 4, 3. Find a formula for f of x1, x2, x3 and then use that formula to compute f of 2 minus 3, 5. So Since S is a vector for R cube, therefore every vector in R cube can be expressed as a linear combination of elements of S. So we may write x1, x2, x3 equal to c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus c3 v3. v1 is given to be 111, v2 is given to be 110, v3 is given to be 100. So we have written c1 into 111, c2 into 110, c3 into 100. If we simplify this side, right hand side, in the first term we have c1, 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 c1 into 1, c1 into 1, c1 into 1. In second term, c2 into 1, c2 into 1, c2 into 0, c2, c2, 0. C3 into 1, C3 into 0, C3 into 0, C3, 0, 0. So, on addition we get C1 plus C2 plus C3. For second term, C1 plus C2 plus 0. And third term, C1 plus C2, 0 plus 0. And if we equate the resulting terms on both sides, on the left hand side in first vector we have x1, on the right hand side we have c1 plus c2 plus c3. So c1 plus c2 plus c3 equal to x1. For second term, x2 is equal to c1 plus c2 plus 0. So c1 plus c2 equal to x2. For third term, x3 is equal to c1 0 plus 0. So c1 equal to x3. If we solve this equation, we will get c1 equal to x3, c2 equal to x2 minus x3, c3 equal to x1 minus x2. Because if we substitute c1 equal to x3, in second equation we get x3 plus c2 equal to x2. So c2 equal to x2 minus x3. And if we substitute the values of c1 and c2 in this equation, so c1 is x3, c2 is x2 minus x3. So x3 plus x2 minus x3, x3 will cancel out. So we will left with x2, x2 plus c3 equal to x1. So c3 equal to x1 minus x2. On substituting c1, c2, c3 in above equation, we get x1, x2, x3 equal to x3 111, x2 minus x3 110, x1 minus x2 100. This is v1, this is v2 and this is v3. Therefore x3 into v1, x2 minus x3 into v2, x1 minus x3 into v3. Therefore f of x1, x2, x3 is equal to x3 fv1, x2 minus x3 fv2, x1 minus x2 fv3. Here we have applied this result which we proved just now, that f of v is equal to beta 1 fv1 plus beta 2 fv2 plus beta n fvn, where v1, v2, vn are elements of S and beta 1, beta 2, beta n are coefficients which are scalars. So here v1, v2, v3 are elements of S. Therefore x3 fv1, x2 minus x3 fv2, x1 minus x2 v3. f1 is given to be 10, fv2 is given to be 2 minus 1, fv3 is given to be 4 minus 3. If we substitute this here, x3 into 10, x2 minus x3 into 2 minus 1, x1 minus x2 into 4 minus 3. So x3 into 1, x3 into 0, 0. Second term, if we multiply inside 2x2 minus 2x3, here minus x2 plus x3. Here 4x1 minus 4x2, here 3x1 minus 3x2. On simplification we get 4x1 minus 2x2 minus x3, 3x1 minus 4x2 plus x3. So from this formula we obtain f of 2 minus 3, 5 equal to 923, because if we substitute x1 equal to 2, x2 equal to minus 3, x3 equal to 5 here, so it is 4 into 2 minus 2 into minus 3 minus 5, 3 into 2 minus 4 into minus 3 plus 5. So on simplification it is 2 minus 3. So we have computed the formula for fx1, x2, x3 and calculated the value of f2 minus 3 and 5. Now show that the mapping f from r square to r square defined by fxy equal to x square y is not linear. So this mapping will be linear if it preserves vector addition and scalar multiplication. So first of all we check vector addition, whether it preserve it or not. So f of xy plus f of zw is equal to f of x plus z y plus w. We add first term with first term and second term with second term. So it is f of x plus z y plus w. But f of xy is x square y, square of first term and then second term. So this will be x plus z square and y plus w, square of first term. But x plus z square is x square plus z square plus 2xz. So this is not equal to x square y plus z square w. And x square y is f of xy, z square w is f of zw. By given condition, x square y is f of xy. So x square y is f of xy, z square w is f of zw. Therefore, f does not preserve additivity because f of xy plus zw is not equal to f of xy plus f of zw. So f is not linear. Also, one could check that f does not preserve scalar multiplication. Alternatively, one could check this failure numerically also, because for example f of 1 1 plus 2 0 is equal to 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 0 is 1. So f of 3 1. F of 3 1 is square of first term 9 and second term 1. So f of 3 1 is 9 1. But f of 9 1 is not equal to f of f11 plus f20, because f11 is 1 square 1, means f of 11 is 1 1. F of 20 is 2 square and 0, means 40. So 1 1 plus 40 is not equal to 9 1. Now suppose the mapping is defined by f of xy equal to x plus y and x. Here in the first term we have written sum of x and y, and in second term we have written x, and show that f is linear. This will be linear if it preserves scalar addition, vector addition and scalar multiplication. And on combining these two, we can also prove that f of a alpha plus b beta is equal to a f alpha plus b beta. So if f of a alpha plus b beta is equal to a f alpha plus b f beta, then also f is linear. So let's check this. Let alpha is equal to x1 y1 and beta equal to x2 y2, and a and b are elements of R. A and b are real numbers. Therefore, f of a alpha plus b beta is equal to f of a into x1 y1 plus b into x2 y2. Because alpha is x1 y1, beta is x2 y2. So if we multiply inside, we get ax1, ay1, here bx2, by2. On adding, this is ax1 plus bx2, ay1 plus by2. So f of ax1 plus bx2, ay1 plus by2. And f is defined as xy equal to sum of both the terms and x. So here ax1 plus bx2 first term, and second is ay1 plus by2. So sum of both the terms. So this is sum of both the terms and then first term. So this is first term. So it is ax1 plus bx2 plus ay1 plus by2 and ax1 by2. So if we take a common, it will be ax1 plus y1. If we take b common, b into x2 plus y2, and here it is ax1 plus bx2. And this may be written as ax1 plus y1 and x1. And this is second term is written as plus b into x2 plus y2 and x2. And this is nothing but f of x1 y1, because f of x1 y1 is in first term sum and in second term first term. So f of x1 y1 is x1 plus y1 plus x1. So this is a f of x1 y1, and for second plus b x2 y2, because here it is x2 plus y2 and then x2. So b f of x2 y2. So f of x1 y1 is f of alpha, f of x2 y2 is f of beta. So a f alpha plus b f beta. So f is linear transformation. Now show that the mapping defined by fxy equal to xy into x is not linear. So it will be linear if it preserves vector addition as well as scalar multiplication. Let alpha is equal to f of 1, 2 and beta equal to 3, 4. Then alpha plus beta will be 1 plus 3, 2 plus 4. 4 alpha plus beta equal to 4, 6. F of alpha is equal to 1 into 2 into 1, because fxy is xy into x, product of 2 and then x. So f of 1, 2 is 1 into 2 and 1. So it is 2, 1. F of beta is product of 2, 3 into 4 and 3. So 3 4s are 12 and 3. F of alpha plus beta is product of 2, 4 into 6, 24 and first term 4. So 24, 4. So 24, 4 is not equal to f of alpha plus f of beta, because f of alpha plus f of beta will be 2 plus 12, 14, 3 plus 1, 4. So 14, 4. So 24, 4 is not equal to 14, 4. Therefore, f of alpha plus beta is not equal to f of alpha plus f of beta. Therefore, f does not preserve vector addition. Therefore, f is not linear. If the mapping f from U to V is a linear transformation from a vector space UF to a vector space VF, then f of 0 is equal to 0 and f of minus alpha is equal to minus f alpha, f of alpha minus beta equal to f of alpha minus f of beta for all alpha beta belonging to U. So first of all, we see that f of alpha plus 0 is equal to f of alpha plus f of 0 by definition of linear transformation, because it preserves vector addition. F of alpha plus 0 is f of alpha. Here it is f of alpha plus f of 0. So because on the left hand side we have alpha, here it is f alpha plus f0. So by property of vector space we have f of 0 equal to 0. Hence f0 is the 0 vector of VF, and 0 on the right denotes the additive identity of V. Secondly, f of minus 1 into alpha is equal to minus 1 into f alpha by definition of linear transformation, because it preserves scalar multiplication. Therefore, minus 1 into alpha is minus alpha. F of minus alpha equal to minus f alpha. So third condition is f of alpha minus beta equal to f of alpha plus minus beta can be written as minus 1 into beta. And because f is linear transformation, it preserves vector addition. So it may be written as f of alpha plus f of minus 1 into beta. Also, by above condition, f of minus alpha is minus f alpha. So f of minus 1 into beta is minus f beta. So f of alpha minus f beta. So we have proved f of 0 is equal to 0. F of minus alpha is minus alpha. F of alpha minus beta is f of alpha minus f beta for all alpha beta belonging to U. Let f be a linear transformation from a vector space U into a vector space V. If S is a subspace of V, prove that Fs is also a subspace of V. Here it is capital F. Let U and Vf are two vector spaces over the field F. The mapping F is a linear transformation from U to Vf, that is F of U, F from U to V is such that F of A alpha plus B beta is equal to F of A F alpha plus B F beta, because this is by the definition of linear transformation. And we have studied in previous lecture that any subset of a vector space is a subspace if and only if A f alpha plus B f beta belongs to the subset. Then it will become a subspace of a given space. So let S be a subspace of U. Therefore, AB belonging to F and alpha beta belonging to S implies A alpha plus B beta belongs to S. And this implies F of A alpha plus B beta belonging to Fs. And this implies A of F alpha plus B of F beta belonging to Fs, because F is linear. Hence, Fs is a subspace of V. Now, composition of linear transformation. If T1 is a mapping from U to V, T2 is a mapping from V to W, these are two linear transformations, then the composition of T2 with T1 is denoted by T2 of T1, and it is a mapping from U to W, defined by the formula T2 of T1 U is equal to T2 into T1 U, where U is a vector in U. If T1 is a mapping from U to V and T2 is a mapping from V to W, and both of these are linear transformation, then T2 of T1, which is a mapping from U to W, is also a linear transformation. If U and V are vector in U and C is any scalar, then T2 of T1 into U plus V is equal to T2 into T1 U plus V. This is by definition of composition of linear transformation. But T1 is a linear mapping, so it preserves vector addition. So T1 into U plus V equal to T1U plus T1V. So T2 into T1E U and T2 into T1V. So this is equal to T2 of T1 U and T2 of T1 V by definition of composition of linear transformation. So composition of linear transformation preserves vector addition. Now we will check scalar multiplication. T2 of T1 Cu is equal to T2 into T1 Cu by definition of composition of linear transformation. But T1 is a linear transformation, so it preserves scalar multiplication. So T2 into C T1U. Again, T2 is a linear transformation, it also preserves scalar multiplication. So it will be C T2 into T1U. So this is equal to C T2 of T1U by definition of composition of linear transformation. Therefore, T2 of T1 also preserves scalar multiplication. So we have proved that T2 of T1 preserves vector addition as well as scalar multiplication. Hence, T2 of T1 is a linear transformation. Now, if T1 is a mapping from P1 to P2 and T2 is a mapping from P2 to P2, P linear transformation given by the formula T1 into Px equal to xpx, and T2 is a T2 of Px equal to P2x plus 4, then the composition T2 of T1 is a mapping from P1 to P2, and it is given by T2 of T1 Px equal to T2 T1 Px, and T1 Px is xpx, and T2 Px is defined as P2x plus 4. So it will be 2x plus 4, P2x plus 4. In particular, if we take Px equal to C0 plus C1x, then T2 of T1 Px is equal to 2x plus 4, P2x plus 4. So it will be 2x plus 4, C0 plus C1, 2x plus 4. So because P2x plus 4 is equal to C0 plus C1, 2x plus 4. So if we multiply inside, C0 into 2x plus 4 plus C1 into 2x plus 4, 2x plus 4. So 2x plus 4 whole square. Thank you.